Well, at the same time, the Western Cape government has set aside more than 10 million rand for firefighting efforts this summer. A hot, dry season is predicted with more intense and severe fires expected. Along with all its regional firefighting teams, working on fire teams are also on standby. With global temperatures soaring, the effects of climate change is felt on the ground with more severe weather events, including bigger and more intense gores. The public is cautioned to be extremely careful when making fire. SABC News reporter Mariska Botha is attending the launch of the fire season readiness program in Stellenbosch.
We're in Stellenbosch right now, where the Western Cape government, along with other partners, including working on fire, is launching its fire season readiness. Now, there's predictions that this will be a hot summer, so the odds of more fires, more intense fires, is very, very high. We've seen over the last few years, in fact over the last decade, how fires have become more intense, burning for longer and burning hotter than before. Climate change is a reality, and it impacts on these kind of veld fires that we see across the Western Cape. It will be an extremely busy season, and it's all systems go. But to talk to us about the readiness, we've got the MEC for Local Government and the Environment, Mr. Andom Bredel. Mr. Bredel, thank you very much for your time. Talk to us about the fire season. Is the province ready for it?
Yeah, we look at what has happened last year and the years before. Last year we've dealt with 7,215 fires. We managed to put out 85% of those fires within the first hour. The year before that we dealt with 17,000 fires. So the crew out there is ready. They use what has happened in the past. They've got the right training, the right resources to back them. We've got this year on standby 4 helicopters, another 4 on standby, and then fixed wing bombers, water bombers, and 2,300 men and women as ground crew that will work with us, and then a lot of partners. We cannot do this without our partners, so we're quite comfortable that we've got the skill set, the equipment, as well as the training behind us to back any eventuality that comes our way.
You've been also openly speaking about climate change and the impact it has on the work that is done on the ground regarding fires. How serious is that issue?
Very serious. We had a very wet winter where a year ago they actually predicted a very dry winter. We had just the opposite. And it's also going to impact on the fire season because our roads in the rural areas has taken a hammering, so access to areas will be challenging, and therefore the aerial support is crucial. But yeah, climate change is real. We need to learn to live with it. We need better planning, and it's a combination. Planning is going to play a huge role in the future. Also, how we build new infrastructure. When we rebuild our infrastructure, you must do it with climate change in the back of your mind. Otherwise, it's going to be reoccurring in the coming years. So I think our whole strategy is built on the understanding that we will get more severe weather events, more rain in shorter periods of time, dense vegetation, with also combined with hotter and drier weather, and that's a recipe for disaster. So therefore the planning, therefore the province put in 16 million rand behind this program to be ready for this fire season.
And your advice to the public, or your request to the public, what must they do this summer?
Well, if we look at the stats, then only 3% of fires is caused by lightning, 97% is caused by human behavior, and therefore we ask the public to work with us. First of all, be vigilant. Secondly, phone us as soon as you see a fire. But be careful when you make a fire, when you go out on a picnic. Understand the consequences, and then if something occurs, please listen to the professional men and women on the ground. They're there to protect you, they're there to protect your property.
Thank you very much. That was the MEC for Local Government and the Environment speaking to us about the readiness. Thousands of people on standby, of course, to be fighting those fires that we know will come. A few years ago, we've seen massive veld fires in the Western Cape that burn for days on end. And we've learned from the experts that these fires burn for longer and more intense. Now, the Western Cape is known for its fynbos. And yes, fynbos is supposed to burn every 15 to 20 years. But what we're seeing now is the intensity of of these fires and the widespread areas of these fires makes it more and more difficult to contain. We also have working on fire crews here that spoke about their experiences in Greece, saying that they've never experienced anything like that, but that the valuable lessons that were learned there will be brought to South Africa in fighting wildfires and all kinds of fires. The number of fires, of course, that the MEC refers to speak to both residential and veld fires across the province. So this coming season, it will be hot, it will be warm, it will be windy in the Western Cape. Summer season is also the time for the southeaster to blow, so people are cautioned to be very, very careful when working with any form of fire out in the open.